Alright, so we are back. My internet just bugged out for a second. So anyway, yesterday we talked about North Korea. Or no, we didn't talk about North Korea. Sorry. Let me try to get the comments up here. We talked about, what did we talk about yesterday? We talked about Syria. And today, I can't get the video up yet, so don't start commenting yet, I guess. I can't see it. But today I'm going to talk about North Korea because it looks like some insiders are saying that we found intelligence that North Korea is going to do its 6th nuclear test, and Trump is just kind of going headstrong right now, and he's going to try to put some muscle behind stopping North Korea doing these tests. So, so anyway, I think he's being led to do this by more CIA operatives who are just trying to get him trapped into a war. So basically what they're doing is they're having Trump corner North Korea like a cornered cat. And what does a cornered cat do? Does it just give up and just say, just take me? No, a cornered cat will and scratch at you and bite you and everything. Like, it's not gonna help to corner North Korea, really. So anyway, they're cornering North Korea just amazingly after 6 years of nuclear tests. Finally they're gonna do something. I think that's kind of dangerous because obviously maybe this time around they don't even need to do another test. Maybe this time around they've got everything worked out. So right now when Trump is saying, if you do one more thing, we're gonna, basically he's saying we're gonna invade. They got China on the border of North Korea. You know, the USS something carrier is headed to North Korea right now. So it's like we're cornering North Korea. I mean, I don't know who's telling Trump this, but obviously they're trying to get Trump into a war. I mean, it's obvious that they just want to corner North Korea, so North Korea launches off an EMP to start off World War III. EMP over the U.S. would be the perfect way for them to start World War III because it would take down our grid. Our whole infrastructure would come to a grinding halt, so we wouldn't be able to mount any sort of defense or attack or anything like that. So China is pretending to go along with us, like, we're going to support you in taking out North Korea, when really what they're doing is they're just kind of luring us in. Corner North Korea. North Korea launches the EMP, takes out the U.S. infrastructure, and then Russia and China Russia can launch more nukes. China can invade the U.S., So that's what I think could happen. I think that Trump is being lured into this with by double agents telling Trump to do this. So anyway, I don't know why the live stream isn't showing up on YouTube. I want to see if any of you are watching and trying to comment and stuff. But what do you think about that? Okay, I see one person. What's up? So I think I'm gonna try to say something. Yeah, okay, this is the right link. Cool. Okay, so I just had to go to the live streaming tab in my Creator Studio. So anyway, Reese, what do you think? Have you heard about this thing about North Korea, China on the border, anything like that? Do you think that China is really on our side, or is China just trying to lure us into cornering North Korea so North Korea launches an EMP over us? Do you think North Korea has that capability? Okay, so Reese says Kim Jong-un has moved 600,000 people out of the capital. So you think he might be preparing for an invasion from China or the U.S.? What do you think? Does he think that there's going to be an invasion? So Reese says, I definitely think he could be going all out. Yeah, friggin', Last Stand by Kim Jong-un, I guess it is. So yeah, it's looking pretty bad. I mean, like a cornered cat, I don't think he's gonna back down. I think he's kind of like suicidal to where he's not going to respond to like intimidation. I think if anything, he's just gonna keep escalating it. So if he thinks that we're trying to intimidate him, he's just gonna escalate it. The question is, does he have the ability to launch an EMP over the U.S. and take out our infrastructure? So Reese says this could be Vietnam times 5. Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah. Well, the thing is that it's like, well, do Kim Jong-un's people really support him? It's like, another thing that I was reading in that article was that they're thinking that there's going to be a coup. Like, the people who are really running North Korea don't necessarily side with Kim Jong-un, so maybe China and the U.S. could instigate a coup to get him out. Apparently it takes a lot of resources to move that amount of people. It would even be difficult for the U.S. 7.7 North Korean citizens in reserve for the military, apparently. Wow. Interesting. So you think they would fight for him? Maybe. I mean, if they did, then yeah, it would be like Vietnam times 5 for sure. But I mean, it'll be World War III because then South Korea gets involved, and this is how World War III starts. China is sitting there, we're right off the coast. Let's say Kim Jong-un makes a move and tries to start something, then South Korea is going to get involved probably, and it's just going to keep snowballing. America will need to covertly convert all his general rights, right? Let me see if I can find that article I was reading. Because they were talking about how they think a lot of the people are not really for Kim Jong-un. But everybody's so brainwashed there. It's like all these people really believe that Kim Jong-un is like God and stuff, and like they would be even more loyal than we would be to Trump. They're probably more loyal to Kim Jong-un. So the article I was reading is breaking: China puts troops on nationwide high alert over North Korea. Paul Joseph Watson. It's on Infowars.com. So that title again is breaking: China puts troops on nationwide high alert over North Korea. Let's see if I can show you that, if you could see that. I can't see you on the screen right now, or see me on the screen, but maybe you can see that. Anyway, so what they're saying here is that nuclear sniffer plane. Actually, I don't really see much on this article. It might have been another article. Maybe one by Kit Daniels, which is, I don't even know. I lost it, but anyway, what do you think about that United Airlines thing? I mean, it's like, okay, well, let me just first look at what you said here. I don't know, I feel like the citizens will all rat each other out. They're way too brainwashed. Right, yeah, exactly. Be like Hitler type thing going on. Hitler Youth and all that. Yeah, it'll be crazy. But let's take a pause from that for a second, and let's talk about United Airlines. Like, did you see that video, like kind of the extended version where he's like, he's on the plane, he's like, just kill me, I need to go home, I want to go home, just kill me. Like, that guy was totally traumatized. I mean, he probably wasn't the most mentally stable person, but that is some really crazy stuff. So what do you think about that? Do you think that's, he's like a martyr for against the corporations? Like, do you think they will stop overselling the flights because of that? Like, I just hope that the airline companies are just afraid of overselling flights now. Like, I think it's totally, completely wrong that you would sell a ticket and then say, oops, no, you can't have the ticket. So I think that's crazy. But anyway, I guess that's all for today. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Oh, no, nice. So glad you're here. You've been an awesome contributor on all of my comment sections. So awesome to have you here. No. Funny that guy was Asian. Hoax. Oh, so you think it's a hoax, huh? So you think that the whole Delta thing was a hoax? That's interesting. Because, it would be similar to some of these, like, cop videos. So, it could be. What would be the motive to fake a beating on an airplane? I mean, I think what it's making everybody do is get anti-corporate. It's like, it's kind of, it would go against their interest, I would think. So Nummy Num says, I think the major news agencies are controlled by intelligence. Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, that is true. Why would they? Funny that they made a massive deal out of an Asian guy getting dragged off a plane amidst possible tensions with China. Right, that's true. They could have used it as a diversion, just like thrown United under the bus. I mean, but I do think it's good, to get people against corporations, because I'm against corporations. I think we all should be sole proprietors, do our own thing, work for ourselves. So anything against corporations, I'm for. But maybe they did just throw United under the bus just to get people's minds off of war. I don't know. I'm trying to see what the media is doing. Right. Yeah, exactly. It's true. I hadn't thought about that. One other person I remember in the height of the Edward Snowden thing is just like, oh, Edward Snowden's just a limited hangout operative. Just, he's not actually a hero. He's not a villain. He's just fake. And that really got me thinking too. And I do believe that now. So yeah, I mean, it could be beyond what we're seeing. News is going out of their way to seem anti-establishment lately. Really odd. Yeah, that's true, huh? It does seem like they are. Hegelian dialect order out of chaos, right? Reese says, I found it very strange that BBC reported on Putin accusing the U.S. of doing false flag gas attacks. Right, that is. Yeah, BBC put on the former Syrian ambassador for Britain. And they let him just talk about how he thinks it's a total false flag and everything like that. So I don't know, but it's like, Paul, early Christian and stuff, was basically like, I don't know if everybody's preaching Jesus out of selfish motives or just because they really believe it, but whether or not it's the right motive, at least it's being preached. And for us here, it's like, well, even if there is an agenda behind giving truthers a voice now, at least it's getting out there. At least, it makes it a lot easier if you know people for you to tell them your theories if they're already hearing stuff like that in the news. Like if they're hearing somebody on the news say, oh, that gas stack was a false flag, now, when you say that, they're going to take you more seriously. So I do think that even if the motives were bad, at least the voices are coming out. So I found it very strange. Accusing it, right? If they get interviews on major news networks, they are CIA actors. So yeah, I mean, you can't really argue with that. I mean, if they are on the major news networks, they are already controlled and censored, right? I mean, why they can't let someone random on because they're owned by the news is owned by mega corporations. Their agenda is lined up with the deep state agenda, so it's like they can't get real people on the news, even if they wanted to, because their owners won't let them. So let me know, what about flat earth? Well, I don't believe in flat earth. I did for a while, but what I did was I did some calculations. I have videos that should still be up on this channel, I believe. But what it ends up happening is if the Earth is a globe, you would expect that you would get, roughly 24 hours of daylight in the South Pole. But if we are looking at the flat Earth map, the sun goes around, right? Antarctica is all around here. So unless we're talking about some strange physics, the sun goes all the way around here. So it would be impossible for any spot on Antarctica to get even close to 24-hour daylight. On the flat Earth map, Antarctica would have, in the winter, whenever it has full sunlight, it would only have like an hour of sunlight a day, when actually it has like a 24 hours. So that doesn't make sense on the flat Earth model, how any certain point in Antarctica can have nearly 24 hours of sunlight. It doesn't make sense on the flat Earth model. And also, the size of the Earth makes sense. It's like, you would have to be tens and tens of miles up to see any curvature of the Earth. So I've done a lot of videos on this in the past. I think the flat Earth is a CIA campaign operation. It says that my video output is low right now, so I don't know if you guys are having trouble. Anyway, I think Flat Earth is disinfo, just trying to get all of the Christians to believe a lie, basically. Because they target Christians. They try to make it sound like Christians should believe in Flat Earth because of the circle drawn on the face of the deep, Bible verses and stuff. So, okay, signal's fine, good. I'm open to, Reese says, I'm open to the Flat Earth theory, but I'm learning more to it being a globe, or leaning more to it being globe, right? Apparently a nuclear device has been moved to a tunnel in North Korea. Are you serious? Where are you hearing that from? A nuclear device has been moved to a tunnel in North Korea. Oh man, it might be too late to prepare for this. I mean, what I'm saying is that if things are starting to get crazy, we need to start stocking up on food, because if the grid goes down, your store is not going to get stocked with food. It's just not. You're going to go to the store, there's not going to be anything there. It's like a Hurricane Katrina times 10. So if we get hit with an EMP, it's going to be too late to get food, and then it's every man for themselves, and it's like as much as you can defend your house from the people coming to steal from you, so. Nummy Num says, I was pretty surprised at how much less stupid it is than I suspected. Oh, Flat Earth, right. Well, yeah, because you and I know that rockets don't work in space, but see, that's the thing. The Flat Earthers think that NASA's a lie because there's a dome and you can't get past the dome, but you and I know that rockets don't work in space because the physics behind it. So it's just, I think that Flat Earth is a diversionary thing. I mean, we've heard one of the Flat Earthers say that he was told by a former NASA employee that they thought they knew that the Earth was flat, but I think that's diversionary. They're trying to divert attention from the fact that rockets just don't work in space. Rockets don't work in space, so they try to push the Flat Earth theory to get the crazies to believe that it's the dome that the reason NASA can't do anything is because of the dome, so NASA makes it plays the Hegelian dialectic, I guess, that if you don't believe that NASA can go to the moon, then you believe in Flat Earth. They're trying to split it into crazies and normal people, where we know that the real people know that rockets don't work in space because of the physics of gas expansion. They don't want those people. They want everybody who would be with us, knowing that rockets don't work in space, they want them to be in the Flat Earth side, so they'd be like, oh, they're just crazies. And all the normal people believe that NASA is all-powerful and goes to Pluto and stuff. So I think they're just trying to divert that. Alright, let's see what we got. bnonews.com/news/index.php/news/id 5818. Alright, let me copy this. Let me try to get on here. Alright, what do we got? Oh, we're sorry, but there's no page here. It could be us, not you. Let me try www. I'm not getting into that BNO News article. Oh, we're getting there now? I had to take off some... Yeah, I got there. I had to take off some weird stuff at the end of that ID. But I'm in, so... No, I don't know how reputable BNO News is, but nuclear device placed in tunnel at North Korea's test site. North Korea appears to be in the final phase of preparing for a nuclear test, having placed a nuclear device in a tunnel at the country's nuclear test site, American officials say early on Thursday. Okay, so I guess it's American officials saying this, which, you know, they also said that Assad chemically attacked his people, which that's coming out is not true. It was launched from Saudi Arabia, possibly. So we can't trust anything that our intelligence gives. It's like disintelligence. It's disinfo. I mean, what do we expect, right? The CIA is doing disinfo operations all the time. They said when everything the American people believe is false, then we know we've done our job. You know, that's like a quote by like a CIA director, you know. So it's all about disinfo. So how can we ever trust them to give us truth about anything? You know, this could be, they could be using this fake intelligence to provoke Trump to invade North Korea and pressure North Korea to launch an EMP over the U.S., you know. So they could just, this is just false flaggery, more false flaggery to get us to World War III possibly. So, but anyway, officials, it seems, are saying that North Korea is moving a nuclear weapon right now. What more provocative thing could there be than that? All right. Yeah. Nothing's gonna happen, hopefully. Imagine if they do another nuclear test tomorrow, says Reese. Nami says there are some smarter flat earthers, yes. Kim Jong-un is completely insane. Apparently he spends a lot of his time playing World of Warcraft. Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah, I'm sure he does. With Dennis Rodman. He probably groups up with Dennis Rodman on World of Warcraft. I've always thought it was a CIA hoax, says Nami Num, yes. It's weird that there's no evidence of curvature, though. Well, we would expect no evidence of curvature if NASA is a fraud run by Nazis, which it is, and rockets don't work in space. Then yeah, we would expect no evidence of curvature. But think about the Antarctica thing. You know, if the flat Earth map is correct, we would expect a point in Antarctica to not get sun almost ever. You know, especially when the sun is on its outermost thing, like according to the flat Earth map. But in reality, instead of getting almost no sun, that point in any point in Antarctica will get practically 24 hours of daylight. And that makes sense. You can look at Tierra del Fuego, it gets like 20 hours. You can look at the Cape of Africa, it gets like 19 hours. So it lines up with the globe model to where the bottom is pointed towards the sun, you know, as it's rotating and as it, you know, etc. So that does line up with the globe Earth model. So that's really what convinced me. You know, everything else is not proof, but that for me is proof that the Earth is a globe. Nami is always thinking out of the box. Look at that. I strongly suspect Kim Jong-un doesn't exist. Wow, kind of like a Stephen Hawking type mind job, huh? I wouldn't put it past them. Social engineering, that's right. Everything in the news is false, yes. Do you think the globalists could launch an EMP and blame it on North Korea? Yes, they definitely could do that. Just a high altitude bomb, even conventional bombs. The whole thing about do nuclear bombs even exist? I'd say yes and no. I don't think nuclear bombs exist like we've seen the footage, the proposed footage of them. I think that's fake footage. But I do think that if you detonate a nuclear, if you really pressurize nuclear material and stuff, you can get it to fission. You can get it to add to the blast. But the gigantic plumes that we see from the 50s, I think those were fake videos. But yeah, you can make an EMP pretty easily. We've got them, so yeah, we could just launch an EMP from one of these Ken planes or something or whatever, and yeah, we could have a false flag EMP. So yeah, the movie Wag the Dog is truth. I haven't seen it, but it sounds interesting. Lots of people talk about Wag the Dog, so yes. How can we know what's going on down there in Antarctica? I'm certainly not convinced that the Earth is flat or anything. Nuclear bombs don't exist, right? Yeah, nukes could be fake. But I still think that you can get more power possibly out of, or, at very least dirty bombs, But maybe it could help in creating an EMP, that fissile material, giving that a pulse or something. I don't know. But I think there could be something there to putting nuclear stuff on a bomb, but I don't think it's those gigantic explosions we saw from the 50s. So yeah, cool. Anyway, I'm gonna head out. Thanks guys for watching. I'll probably be on, I'll just be on like it whenever I get the urge to come on, like some breaking stuff is happening and I think it's important. I do think we should get ready just in case they do, like we were talking about, launch a false flag EMP, or North Korea actually launches an EMP, or China launches an EMP, blames it on North Korea, whatever. I think we are pretty darn close to war right now, so I think we should all get some food. What I'm going to do is buy some beans, some dry beans. Those things will last forever, and if I ever need any food, as long as I can get water and a fire, I can turn those beans into refried beans basically, or cooked beans. So they last forever, they're super cheap, so I'm going to do that. I recommend that you get some rice or some beans or something, just throw it in a pantry somewhere just in case the stores close up from the grid going down. Anyway, thanks for watching. I am the Nature Hacker. Go do work.